Good morning. Today we'll discuss about histology of skin and its appendix. Histology, we have already discussed about the basic histology. There are the four tissues which makes almost all the organs or systems. Epithelium tissue, connective tissue, then muscle tissue, nervous tissue. That means any organ is made of this four basic tissue. The skin is also having this four basic tissue, and in this way is also considered as organs. It's having a lot of functions which it is already listed. In this way is work like a systems. We know the skin also a one of the organs of beauty. There are the so many things: color of the skins, characteristic of the hair, characteristics of nail, so many parts. They are the part of beauty. So these are the functions of skin, like protection, sensations, thermoregulations, absorption, secretions, moisturization of skin, synthesis of vitamin D, color of skin. All are the functions. So which are the structures which are responsible for these functions will be discussed at the last. Now, this is the histological picture of two type of the skins. This one is the histological or microscopic picture of thin skin. Thin skin's characteristic is that you can see the hair follicles, and another picture is the histological picture of thick skin. Its absence of hair follicles along with its glands, they are present only in thin skin. So these two pictures, most of the product of the skin related medicines, ointment, you can see this type of the pictures. Yes, skin. Again, this diagram: thin skin, thick skin. As a organ is having a four basic tissue. We have already learned the different type of epithelium. So here, which type of epithelium is this? This is epithelium. Epithelia, that means covering of any organs or solid organs or lining epithelium of hollow organs. So here the most outer covering of skin is epithelium, is also known as epidermis. Its particular name here is epidermis, and part below the epithelium is known as dermis. Main part is dermis, and according to this name, skin specialists, they are also known as dermatologists. The layers which situated above the dermis is epidermis. It is the epithelium type of epithelium of skin that we have already learned in the previous lecture. They are the keratinoid, stratified, squamous epithelium. Then another components, connective tissue, which connects the different remaining structures like muscles, epithelia, glands. So here you can see this is muscles, this is glands, these are the hair follicles, and in between this part is connective tissue. The types of connective tissue of dermis is the dense, irregular type of connective tissue, and connective tissue is made of the main components is presence of different fibers. Which are the fibers of connective tissue? So mainly there are the collagen fibers, and in skin another one important fibers, they are the elastic fibers, and due to this elastic we can stretch the skin. This is one more type of connective tissue is connective tissue. Third tissue is muscle tissue. Here in the skin, very delicate muscles are present along with the sebaceous gland, is known as erector pili muscles, which connects the epidermis to the deeper part of the hair follicles. And fourth type of basic tissue, nervous tissue. In the junctions of the dermis and epidermis, there are the few special type of neurons are present which are responsible for different type of sensation, general sensation, joint related sensations, other sensations. So many types of neurons are present. In this way, skin having a all type of basic tissue. So this is about the histology of skin of different tissues. Now we'll discuss about the layers of skin. Histologically, there are the only two layers: epidermis in both thick and thin, and dermis. So this part is epidermis. Which are the layers of epidermis? Microscopically, there are the five layers. The most basal layer is the simple columnar or simple cuboidal type of epithelium. Is known as stratum basale. What? Stratum basale. That means is situated at baseline in both thick and thin skin. Now above this you can see the few layers of the cells. It's having a so many spike or spike like characteristic. It's known as stratum spinosum. This layer is known as stratum spinosum. Actually the cells are not like this, but during the histological process they are stretched, and in this way it looks like the so many angle type of structures in between the junctions. That's why it look like spine, and name is stratum spinosum. About this another one layers which contains the large amount of granular tissue. It is known as stratum granulosum. Stratum granulosum. Next to this, only in the thick skin you can see the one clear area. It is stratum lucidum, and this is the characteristic of the thick skin only. But here in thin skin you cannot find out the stratum lucidum. And most superficial layer, almost dead layer without nucleus, which forms the corneums, or it's having a some protein like structures. That's why it is known as stratum corneum. Stratum corneum presence in both. So these are the five microscopic layers of the skin from deep to superficial. They are the stratum basale, stratum spinosum, stratum granulosum, stratum lucidum, and stratum corneum. Another layer is known as dermis. So this is the dermis part. If we small epithelium means dead layer of the skin is removed, then deep to this sometimes you can feel this type of abrasions. Very thin potato like skin is coming out from the surface without bleeding. It is epidermis, and deep to this it is dermis. Dermis is the living, sensitive, having a vascularities. It is dermis. These layers having a hair follicles, glands, muscles, sweat glands, connective tissue fibers, collagen fibers, elastic fibers, everything are present in this dermis part. The epidermis and dermis, they combine to make the skin. Now cells which are present in epidermis, most of the cells are keratinocyte. Main compositions of the cells are keratinocytes. Apart from this, why it is known as keratinocyte? It makes the keratin layer more superficial. From deep to superficial, these layers are changes like that. Keratinocytes. Initially, it is stratum basale, then it's spinosum, granulosum, then lose the nucleus, and ultimately it becomes dead. So this is the journey of keratinocytes. In between the keratinocytes, another few cells, melanocytes, which are present in the epidermis. It is responsible for color of skin. We know the different regions peoples having a different characteristic type of color. For examples, we are the Indians having a whitish means Gaumana. We are neither white neither black. The intermediate variety of color of our skin. This is due to the presence of melanocytes, and which is responsible for different color melanin pigments. In Negroes, they are the very black. In African countries, some Americans and Australians having a less amount of melanocytes, that's why it is fair. But this type of cells and this pigment is also helpful to protect the ultraviolet rays, because we are coming directly on the sun rays. That's why. Another one type of the cells also present is known as Langerhans cells. They are functions like phagocytosis. So they are also present in the skin epidermis and helpful for microorganism killing. And third variety of the cells, it is sensory cells, Merkel cells. They are also present in dermal papilla. They are sensory. So different type of cells are present in epithelia. Hmm. We know the epithelia in glands is almost together. Now modifications of epithelia. Glands are what? They are the modifications of epithelia for the purpose of secretions. Here also some epithelium means epidermis are penetrate deeper into the dermis, and it forms the two types of the glands. One gland here along with the hair follicle is known as sebaceous glands, and they are present only around the hair follicles. One more type of the glands is known as sweat glands. They are the merocrine type of the glands. They are present in the deep part. It is thus, according to classifications, it's having a coiled ducts. So this is the type of glands. Two types of the glands presence in the skin. Sweat glands. Sweat glands are again having a two varieties, merocrines and hypocrines. Merocrine, most of the sweat glands in body, they are the merocrine, and generally it directly opens on the surface of skin. But even though some sweat glands which are opens along with the hair follicles, and they are related with the secondary sexual characteristic around the genitalia, around the axilla. This type of the glands are known as apocrines, and it's having a different type of odors. One more type of the glands, sebaceous glands. Sebum means lipids, which secretes the lipids, and this lipids is help for moisturization of our skin. We know in the winter seasons what happens, there is the actually dryness of our skin, and this is reduced, or amount of secretions of sebum is less, and at that time we have to apply the supplementary oily product, any skin product. This is the reasons why this type of glands means sebaceous glands is required. So they are the holocrine type of the gland. That means it's lost the apical part of the cells during its secretions. So this is sebaceous gland. Sebaceous gland is always connected with the one muscles is known as erector pylorus muscles. During the contractions of these muscles, this gland's follicle is contract, and the sebum is passed along with the root, and ultimately is passed on the surface of skin. In this way, it makes the skin oily. Sometimes what happens, there is these hair follicles become blocked due to the poor hygiene and in this way the sebums cannot be comes outside and it's become infected. At that time it is known as acne vulgaris, particularly seen at the time of puberty.